Giovanna Lomanto is an Oakland-based Pushcart Prize-nominated poet and teaching artist, an alumnus of UC Berkeley and a current MFA candidate at NYU's low-residency program. Her work has been featured on KALW, the Worth-Ryder Art Gallery, the SFMOMA archive, and various literary magazines. She is the author of 2 poetry collections. Oh, there's a third. I think that's coming, right?
Yeah.
Nobody in particular, and Jupiter Fell Out of the Sky Last Night, as well as a poetry box art edition called Erase This, prose poem for the Sentimentalist from RITE Editions 2021. She simultaneously serves as the co-host of the Living Room Series Salon at Syzygy in San Francisco.
To everybody for being here, and thank you to Kevin for having me, and Alton for also having all of us in your building currently right now, and also giving us free drinks. Cheers to that. So I am here with a quick story about one of my mentors. For my poet ancestor, I actually decided to go into the prose realm. I'm so sorry. But one of my biggest writing mentors was actually Fei-Mian Ng, who wrote this book, Bone, which is amazing. And it was one of the first books to be published by an Asian American woman, when Asian American was one of the first, it was one of the first uses of the term Asian American, and specifically an Asian American woman writer. I also find that I learn a lot from other writers as well, which makes sense because a lot of the poets that preceded me are also educators, so shout out to educators. And she taught me a lot, but also taught me about the power of an ending and how it should not have anything to do with plot. So here is a no-spoiler version of her ending. The heart never travels. I believe in a holding still. I believe that the secrets we hold in our hearts are our anchors, that even the unspoken between us is a measure of every promise to the living and to the dead. And all our promises, like all our hopes, move us through life with the power of an ocean liner pushing through the sea. All my things fit into the back of Mason's cousin's Volvo. The last thing I saw as Mason backed out of the alley was the old blue sign. Number 246. Up there. No one has ever corrected it. Someone repaints it every year. Like the old-timers' photos, Leon's papers, and Grandpa Leong's lost bones. It reminded me to look back, to remember. I was reassured. I knew what I held in my heart would guide me. So I wasn't worried when I turned that corner, leaving the old blue sign, Salmon Alley, Ma and Leon, everything, back there. I'm thanking you on behalf of Faye, honestly. But this poem is also calls to mind a lot of ancestors that I've written about, and is also taking a title stolen from the new SZA album. It's called Another Dumbass in the Machine, after the song Another Ghost in the Machine. So, bumbling. With no thanks and astringent tongue, your lover is crass and bristled. Her shoulders a shaking sort of novelty. You cannot wring its temper this time. Its microwave timer yell in the kitchen. She does the same. Without pause, a pot to bubble over the gas stove she forgot how to use, she forgets. She doesn't remember how to hold her wonton skins together. The stuffing expounds, the Maya Angelou caged bird sings, and she jumps at the thought of equity. She falters. Your mother laughs. It's all good fun. Her poking stride, her bumbling, her no thank you, her no thanks, her no gratitude, her bell hooks love regardless, her Janice Miracatani feast, her Fei-Mian Ng bones so tired from the white coursing through them. Her wish for the bumble. Your lover knows that the ground is tumbleweed-infested fields, and that even the smallest of brushes will tickle her into oblivion. And she will laugh. It is so absurd. She will not stop laughing. It is so unthinkable. It's as though it's not real. It's skin whitening cream in the summer of 7th grade. and the way your skin crawls at the sight of a slighted kinfolk, the phrases of causality, as though it's not a cut because it didn't sting the slicer when she broke skin. It is so absurd. And she will laugh. And she will bumble on. And she will know thank you at the next table. And she will bumble on. In also thinking about ancestor poets, I was thinking about my literal ancestors, including my grandpa, who I write a lot of poems about, who passed away a couple years ago. And this one's called, I'll Pray for You When You Leave. And I'll do a damn good job. The priest will send a recommendation to the Monsignor, who will send a glowing review to the Archbishop, who will skip a few steps for the Cardinal, and maybe the Pope of the people will hear your name said aloud. He'll say it one day in the gold-lined Vatican City balcony, and you'll laugh because you're not even Catholic. And I'm not even Catholic. And we've just played the biggest prank on the church since the time those kids TP'd the courtyard at St. Joseph's, and the Pope will still not know. He'll still say grace falls at the hands of the meek, and our meerkat smiles will chuckle because you're not dead yet. Because you're still here. Because you're still waiting for me to come home from the hospital, your glazed eyes not watching the TV, just fixed on the clock that hangs crooked above the screen, and I'll do a damn good walk into the house, give you another hug just like the last time, and I'll tell myself that this is not another joke, that this isn't just a fever dream in a moment I play over and over again to hear your yell of relief over my shoulders, and maybe it's real. And maybe it is. But I'm not sure the Pope can hear my prayers once we meet again, when our waking bodies alter our flesh and ash. This poem is called Brown Jesus Didn't Die for This. I swear he didn't. I swear on his life that the plague wasn't him. Locusts were nowhere to be seen. His brevity, a callous factor in the timeline. His birth, no excuse for a new time after death instead. I swear, he would say okay to my bisected polarity. He forgets about the time before his birth, when his father quit his job and lay on the bed for months wondering what his pregnant fiancée did in her freest time, and I would write about it. And I would live it in his honor. And I would know of it because I went to a church named after Joseph. Growing up, Joe, they called me, in their butchered accents, and its untucked top sheet, the slew of tissues over the side, the salt-stained blankets. He didn't die for this. And I'm just there. Just Joe. Just waiting for someone to shake me out before I go to the corner store and buy myself another pack of spirits and regret the decisions of my nicotine lungs. I remember how my dad quit smoking so that I would live longer. And so I smoked an extra cigarette to line the grave I dig on his behalf. If he won't do the work, I'll be damned if I don't do it myself. Because Brown Jesus doesn't even care if I die. I'm resurrection bound anyway. And in my last poem, I'm also going to pay tribute to a poet named Sarah Kay. I don't know if you'll know her, but she's amazing. Sarah Kay, she ends all of her poetry readings with a love poem to lighten the mood and also to just pay tribute to love. So this one's called Fossils. Scrounge breakfast as a meal. Find it crash, clang, clawing when the heart breaks into fluorescent light. This shrapnel was not made for us, and my glue is right beside the chalk outlines on the floor. Your breakfast, my crime scene. Bite hard down on the toast, too burnt on butter. The sweet graveled sugar will lick you back anyway, I promise you. You look at me with doubt and a feigned excitement, and perhaps one of the widest grins you've given since September. It's been this way. And you text me when you have gas, and I verbally tell you when I have gas. And it's something we always joke about, and then we juggle our hidden courtesies, your arm wrapped around my sides as we wake slowly, flower stems turning to the sun and back. The mornings are upheavals of night terrors, the final curtain call for the evening, and I start when I wake. You start, and leaf your arm around me, and we sit as I uproot, and I scrounge breakfast as a meal. Skillets on the counter, and the reflection looks like starfall, and you receive it with a smile that says, like it did in September, that it'll be better this time too. Thank you.